Hey everybody, Mr. Roubeau here. So today we're going to talk about converting from standard form to vertex form for quadratics. So with this, that's standard form being y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form being y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. H and k here are your vertex. So to do this conversion, what we're going to do is we're going to do this method called completing the square. And this completing the square is going to be something that you can do with other things as well. Conic sections comes to mind, so it's something you will use again later. So let's just get to an example, and then we'll kind of walk through the process. So we're going to start with, actually we're going to throw a 2 out in front. Okay, so we're actually going to do a little bit the more complicated one first, because if this is 1, it actually saves us 1 step, but we're going to do this one first. So I want it to look like this. So the first thing you're actually going to do is you're going to group the 2 things with the x. Okay, so we group these together and we leave this out on the outside. Now, if there's something here, you have to factor it out because that's your a term. So we want that out in front, so we're going to end up going y equals 2 x squared, and we grouped it for this purpose, so we're factoring the 2 out of the 8 as well. So 4x, and then I'm going to leave a blank. And then I'm going to put plus 22, and then I'm going to put another blank at the end. Okay. What goes in these blanks is the completing the square process. So what we want to do is we want to try to think, okay, what number would go here to make this a perfect square so we could factor it so it'll look like this, x minus h squared. So the nice thing is it's the same process no matter what these numbers are. So you take this middle number, this middle term, really just the coefficient, and you divide it by 2. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So you always divide by 2. And then you're going to square it. So we're going to do negative 2 squared, which equals 4. This number is the number that goes right here. Okay, so I'm going to say plus 4. Now, the issue is we can't change the problem around, so it has to stay plus 4. So then that means we have to subtract something. Now, usually we would just subtract 4, but because it's in the group that is being multiplied by 2, you're going to take that, multiply it, and then whatever this total is, you're going to subtract it over here. So it's going to be 4 times 2 is 8, so we're going to subtract 8. Okay. Now, we're actually almost done with completing it. Now we just kind of have to factor and simplify. So we're going to end up with y equals 2 still out in front, so this 2 doesn't change. X squared minus 4x plus 4, that's going to factor, and what it's always going to factor to is going to be x minus whatever this number was when we did the division. Or you could just think of this as the factoring. So it's going to be x. Oops, that's not a minus sign that I wanted to write. Where's my eraser? There it is. So it'll be x minus 2 parentheses squared. So now it looks like a x minus h, and then we just simplify this last part here. So 22 minus 8 is 14. And there it is in vertex form. Okay, so once again, like we did it the harder one, if your a value is just 1 though, you don't have to worry about this factoring out of anything, because you would factor out 1, which doesn't change anything. Okay, so just do a little practice with this, and you'll get the hang of it. It's always the same process. Divide the middle, the linear coefficient by 2, and then square it. And that's the number you complete the square with. We can't just add something though. to keep it the same, you have to subtract. So then you would multiply it by the number you factored out, and then subtract it, and then simplify and factor, and you get it right into vertex form. All right, so have a good day, and thanks for watching.